Five. 4. 3. 2. 1. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to a little thing that we call the Cipher 360. I am your host, Marcus the Kid Warren, and with me is my man Muff. How are you doing today, sir? With your Bruce Willis hat on.
I know, right?
You're sporting
No, it ain't Bruce Willis. No,
you're doing it well though. Okay,
this is
Tom Landry.
No, here we go. You Adrian.
You smell good.
Segue. Speaking of Adrian,
yes, sir.
Brother by the name of Adrian Younge came together with
Ghostface Killah.
Ghostface Killah. Made 12 Reasons to Die. That's going to be today's review. Let's just get right into it. So far, it's been a few albums I think might qualify as album of the year. That we've been talking about. I'm not going to go over it right now, but I just want to add one. I'm sure it'll be added to the album of the year for Cipher when we do our Cyphies at the end of the year. Listen, in my opinion, and I don't know if you agree with this or not. When you look, Wu-Tang started what 1992, roughly, as far as us listening to it. I think the 36 Chambers came out in 1992, if I'm about right, give or take a year. I'm pretty sure it's 1992.
Around that time.
Anyways, of all the individual Wu-Tang members, I'm not saying that Ghostface is the best, but he is definitely the most consistent member. And to the point where I can't really think of a whack album he's ever put out. And I can point to whack albums for just about all the Wu-Tang, top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Except for Master Killer, but he hasn't put out a lot of albums. Certainly, Method Man has put out a whack album before. I would say
subpar.
Yeah, so subpar based on where he should be, as far as, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Raekwon has put out subpar albums before, okay?
Okay.
I can't say that about you, man, Tony Starks. You know what I'm saying?
Tony.
Listen, 12 Reasons to Die. Didn't know what to think about this because I read up about it. It was going to be a concept album.
Okay.
Based on some type of like 1960s-esque Italian horror movie, from what I understand. And I got to tell you, this album to me is straight up fire. I think it's. I mean, this is the theme of the Cipher crew. At least as far as I'm concerned, maybe he might share my sentiments in that, but I'll represent myself in this when I say this.
Okay.
This actually goes to show you what happens when you have a tight producer and a tight MC come together and it's just one producer.
Okay.
You get a cohesive release like this. This is crazy. Now, expect it's going to come, especially for some of you non-hip-hop aficionados, it's going to... This is not going to be your typical hip hop album, other than the fact that they rap on it. Okay, the music is it's not boom bap, but it's definitely RZA-esque type of production. And if you're familiar with the RZA production, especially like the '90s, it's very dark. And this album is very dark in that way, wouldn't you say? I mean, go ahead and speak your piece on it.
Well, I was thinking of ways to try to describe this album, and the one thing that I can think of is two words.
Two words.
Brilliantly simple. Okay? Adrian Younge does a great job with production. I mean, we was going for the horror film, the old horror film things. He hits it right on the head. And the thing is, the production doesn't take anything away from Ghostface. Yeah, Ghost does Ghost. I mean, Ghost, like you said, he's very consistent. So you're gonna get Ghost. So you're gonna get tight lyrics. Lyrically, it's gonna be bananas. But the beats are like laid back. Okay, very laid back, very simple, and they let Ghostface tell the story, which he does very brilliantly.
He tells the story like a mug. That's what it is. And just so you guys don't get confused, it's not laid back like Tribe laid back.
No. Okay. Yeah.
No, if you want to.
Yeah, I'll reiterate a little bit. Yeah, not like you were very good point. Not laid back to the point where it's like a Tribe Called Quest or somebody like a jazzy type of thing. It's just very dark. It's more. It's not. I'm thinking it more like a backdrop. I've never heard the example of it's a score to a movie, and it's a backdrop to a story, and Tony Stark's Ghostface tells it so brilliantly and so eloquently. But that's Ghost.
And it sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah,
it does. The music does sound like a horror movie, you know, with the keys and all that other stuff.
And the singing brought so much emotion to it. You know what I'm saying? You felt like you were right there inside the movie when you listened
on that
to
thing, hitting high octaves and all that. The heck,
it's crazy.
It's nuts, you know. And I was just telling my man Kid over here about the fact that I did see Ghostface perform one of the songs off of that album on Jimmy Fallon with the Roots. Of course, you know the Roots will take your existing song and bring it to a whole different place. And to see him sing with that opera singer, I call her opera singer for lack of a better word. Look, we're a hip hop show.
Very opera-esque.
opera-esque, whatever you want to call it. If you want to correct me to do that. But at any rate, she sounds like the album. You know what I'm saying? Like she does in the album. It's sick. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, let's take a look at what it is we have, man. I mean, top to bottom, if you play this out from top to bottom, and even if you listen to it as a story, or if you're just listening to it just to hear good music, you're going to be satisfied either way, in my opinion.
I mean, just for example, I mean, you start listening to it, Beware the Stare alone. And that's only what Ghostface just spitting one rhyme. You know what I'm saying? That was, I'm like, wow, I was hooked right after that. From there to the last track, which is 12 Reasons to Die, I was in. I was hooked in. And if anybody loves real hip hop, anybody loves, well, not even so much real hip hop. It is a great album.
It's a great concept album, period. And the song I'm talking about that they performed on Jimmy Fallon was I Declare War, which is off the hook. Rise of the Black Suits is really my favorite joint on there. Blood on the Cobblestones, hot. I mean, and it sounds like the live instrumentation throughout. The drums are certainly live. It's not, you're not going to hear a Fruity Loops-esque type of software, home-produced laptop album, what have you. You know what I mean? This is a guy, Adrian Younge, when he did the production, that really put his ankle up in this thing, in my opinion. Again, top to bottom, great album. Ghostface again does ghosts. Great storyteller. He does. You know what he doesn't do, because he's telling that story. I think he's not as big on the. You know how Ghost has like his own vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? That he puts on the album and stuff. You know what I mean? He doesn't do that as much on this album. He's very straightforward in that way. But again, just the way his flow, the way Ghost's flow is, it's almost kind of like he's talking to you. Or he is just reading a story, how it comes out. But you can hear the passion in his rhymes. And it's a mature album in that way. It's not something you're going to be playing, I don't know. For me, guys like me who like hip-hop, I mean, it serves its purpose, man. You got it's beats, it's rhymes, it's a concept album. It gets your attention. It's definitely not just background music. It's just something that I think is just tight all the way through. Yeah,
not background music at all. But the one thing that I do have, I mean, it's not a criticism of it at all. I would prefer to listen to this whole album all the way through, which I did a number of times, and rather than just sit down and, here's my favorite track. I like to listen to the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Almost like you're watching a movie. You wouldn't watch Django Unchained and then start from the middle of the movie. You started from the beginning, Beware the Stare, you listen to the whole thing all the way through. It is that tight.
Yeah, it's that tight.
And I mean, he's not even the first. I mean, there's been plenty of concept albums that have tried to tell a story and everything, and a lot of them have been very successful into these concept albums and telling a story, but by far, I think this is the best one concept or storytelling album ever.
I'd say for me, it's the best one since 1999's A Prince Among Thieves by Prince Paul.
Yeah.
That one, I think, kind of took things to a new level. It is certainly the best one I've heard since then. At any rate, in fact, just to digress a little bit, Prince Paul actually referred to that album, A Prince Among Thieves, as a hip-opera. Whatever. It's very good, though.
Yes.
We had Everlast on there as the cop. Police department is like a crew. It does whatever it wants to do. Okay. At any rate, reviewing it.
Yes.
All right.
Rating.
Look, 4.5 me.
Really?
4.5.
Really?
4.5.
4.5?
4.5.
Because I agree with you. 4.5, no doubt. I was even thinking about giving it 5, man. But I was like, look, I wanted to give it a 5 so much. I want to give it a 5 so much, but it is that tight.
I like to be 5.
But I was even thinking about it when I was driving in here today. I'm like, well, look, it's going to be a 4.5 for me.
And let me tell you how good this album is.
Okay.
My man, one of our favorite producers here at Cipher Crew is Apollo Brown. Okay. Apollo Brown actually did a remix to the entire album.
Did he?
Now listen
I did not know that.
Yeah, I listened to the album. The reason I didn't bring it up to you because the original version is actually better.
Okay.
Than the remix album. That's how good this is. Sometimes when guys do a remix of the original album, the remix is usually better because the producer's like, okay, I'm about to go ape shit with this right here. Put my own beats to it. Nah, man. Apollo Brown, as dope as he is, can't mess with the original, man. In fact, if Apollo Brown did the original and Adrian Younge did the remix, I would have said Adrian Younge is the next dude, right?
Adrian!
I mean, Adrian, you produce good.
Yeah.
You produce good.
You produce real good. Anyway, if anybody has anything to say, listen to the album. Tell us what you think, man. Hit us up on our Gmail account. We are KidandMuff44 on Gmail. We can also hit us up on Twitter. We are KidandMuff44. That's KIDDANDMUFF44 on Twitter as well. We're also on Facebook. You can hit us up. We are the Cipher Crew. So 4.5 from my man, 4.5 from me too. Listen to the album. Check it out. Do you have anything else to say?
No, man. Just peace. God bless.
Peace and God bless. And God bless Boston, man. We haven't been in here for a minute, so.
God bless Boston.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
That's right,
so anyway, check it out. Ghostface Killah, 12 Reasons to Die. Because why? The Cipher said so, son. Yeah.
My man Trey, and you don't stop. Johnny Boombats, and you don't stop. My man Muff, and you don't stop. My nigga Woo, and you don't stop. Little Brooklyn, and you don't stop. Grand Jury, and you don't stop. Jay White, and you don't stop. Cipher music, and you don't stop. Check it. We rise from the grave with the eyes of a slave. We strive to survive, rocking the mic live. No surprise that we paid. We created a trade that became a craze. It wasn't vice versa. Gave birth to a verse and baptized it in cursive. If you thirst for the real, then travel no further. We murdered the fraudulent motherfuckers and went out to get burgers. We hip hop.